This is the oldest airport in Arizona. It was 1927 when Red Butte Airfields first appeared on this high desert plain, a year ahead of Sky Harbor in Phoenix. Charles Lindbergh was here, the first person to fly solo across the Atlantic. He once landed on this high plateau, surveying potential air roads. Amelia Earhart was here too, the legendary female aviator. She made a brief stopover during one of her flights, repaired her plane, and left behind stories that became part of the lore. Today, all that remains is a weather hangar. The old dirt runway has long been swallowed by wind and sand, now serving as a grazing field for wild horses. But beneath this silent sky, there were once the roars of engines and dreams that took flight. This was the Grand Canyon's very first aerial gateway, and one of the opening chapters in America's golden age of aviation. Our story begins the day before, at the Flagstaff Overland Expo. I visited a few familiar and exciting brands, like Spyderco, the maker of my everyday carry knife, and even offered to sharpen my pocket knife on the spot. Pelican had an equally impressive display. I had already picked up several of their products before this trip, and they've proven to be rock solid so far. There are the ultra cool Patriot campers, modular organization system by Boost Gear, and even an appearance on the well-known overlanding channel X Overland. It was a lot of fun, eye-opening to say the least. Sunday afternoon, the expo wrapped up. I lingered by the exhibitor's exit, watching rig after rig roll out. Some towering like earth roamers, true luxury homes on wheels. Others compact and nimble, built for light travel and tough terrain. After a quick fuel stop, I headed along toward Red Butte Airfield. I wasn't the only one who had the idea to keep exploring Arizona after the expo. It's interesting how total strangers can bond almost instantly just by sharing the same passion for overlanding. That night's camp was filled with travelers from all across the country: Washington, Tennessee, Texas, Pennsylvania, you name it. Special shout out to Travis from SOS Actual, cook up delicious tacos for the entire group. The next morning, we took a group photo before parting ways. One by one, everyone hit the road toward their next destination. There was a stillness in the air I didn't want to leave behind, so I decided to stay here for one more night. As I've grown older, I found myself drawn to slower travel. I remember the early days of my road trips. I met balls stop after stop, feeling each day like a checklist. Once, I drove from Moab to Dallas in just a single day, slept a few hours in a Walmart parking lot, and the next morning pushed all the way to Clearwater Beach, Florida. Those trips were full, no doubt, but in hindsight, maybe too full. I missed too many small things along the way, too many chances to pause, to listen, to connect with people and stories scattered across the land. Now, I prefer giving time back to the places I visit, to notice the way the wind moves the grass, to hear what fellow travelers have to say, to understand the history written in rocks, accents, and roadside dinners. Maybe that's what travel is really about. Not how far or fast you go, but how deeply you let a place stay with you. That evening, the wind picked up as darkness settled in. Feeling a bit lazy, I kept dinner simple, just a pot of hot bubbling hot pot. It warmed up both my stomach and my spirit. The next morning, I said goodbye to Red Butte and began heading north toward my next destination, the south rim of Grand Canyon. I'd been here once before as a child with my family, but standing here again, years later, watching the sun slant across layers of rock carved by time beyond comprehension, I felt something entirely different. Turns out, it takes a grown-up heart to really feel the weight of a place like this. Before turning off onto the dirt roads to tonight's camp, I made a brief stop at Old Navajo Bridge. Built in 1929, it was once the highest steel arch bridge in the world. It spans the emerald water of the Colorado River, a striking contrast against the orange-red cliffs. The bridge itself, standing strong for nearly a century, connects more than just two canyon walls. It links the frontier spirit of American West with the quiet passage of time etched into these rocks.
Just got here by the campsite, and there are a few folks who got here before me. They're really welcoming. They allow me to share the campsite with them. Be sharing foods, having a great party tonight, I guess.
Like Red Butte, this place too brought unexpected company. Mark and Ray, both from Texas, had arrived ahead of me, but they welcomed me in like an old friend. That evening, I cooked a pot of beef stew, and they shared a few dishes of their own. We sat around swapping stories, roadside surprises, and family memories. I was so caught up in the moment that I completely forgot to pick up the camera.
Okay, give me a little. Yeah, let's go. That's good. That's good.
That's good?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I've already had a steak and I'm sitting her soup and yeah.
Get on some cream for you.
Okay.
That's okay. Looks good.
Get that picture.
Yeah.
Get that flow picture.
Nope, that's fine.
All right.
That night, the moon took its time rising, and with no city lights for miles, the stars gave us everything they have to offer. The next morning, Mark and Ray packed up and set off for Texas. The camp felt quiet again. Not long after, a voice called out from the top of the hill, "Do you mind if we join you down there?" I don't know who was calling out, but hey, meeting more people is never a bad thing. So I shouted back, "Heck yeah, come down over." And that's how I met Billy, Jason, and Slim. I really had mixed feelings about the sun in Arizona. On one hand, it lights up the canyon walls and brings out the depth and warmth of the land. On the other, it took less than an hour to absolutely torch my shoulders. Consequently, I spent most of the afternoon hiding out in the camper, editing footage for this episode. After dinner, we sat around chatting. I asked Billy and Slim about some classic southern accents and sayings, stuff you'll never learn from a textbook.
And as best as I could pronounce the proper words, it still just didn't come out right because my lips and mouth will not make certain words. It just doesn't work for me.
Dennis,
Yep.
just remember this word, y'all.
Y'all. How y'all doing?
And that's only for one person. If there's more than one, it's all y'all.
Oh, y'all.
Yeah.
So you all,
Is
this might be
y'all.
counterintuitive, but y'all is singular. But all y'all
Is plural.
plural. Okay.
Filler words that you're too lazy to pronounce.
Yeah, lazy was what I was getting ready
Yeah.
to throw at.
In East Tennessee, with the mines and the coal mines and stuff, that really attracted the Irish and the Scottish coal miner immigrants to the area. The couch was a divan, because she would say shit like, "Get your brogans off my divan," you know, "Get your shoes off my couch." But a lot of other people didn't understand what that meant. You know, the Make-A-Wish Foundation and stuff like that, right? When kids have terminal diseases, they'll give them
Like St. Jude.
yeah, St. Jude's
That kind of thing.
Make-A-Wish. It'll be like John Cena, your wrestling hero, or Luke Skywalker, or Mark Hamill, or you know, they'll take you on it like adventures and stuff because you're a little kid who's about to check out.
Yeah.
So I myself have tried to enlist my friends here into helping me do my last Make-A-Wish like adventure trip because, like I said, I got so many fucking health problems.
Yep.
That if I ever get terminal or get told I'm gonna have the big C, well, and she's already been to the Everest Base Camp. I was like, look, we're gonna take me to climb Mount Everest, but when we get to the last base camp before we do the ascension, I'm gonna come out of the tent and on my climbing helmet, I'm gonna have a giant, like 14-inch big blue veiny
Oh my God.
That's not going on YouTube.
attached to my helmet. And then I'm just gonna step off. I'm gonna step off the trail and just freeze to death and become a landmark because they never take the dead bodies off of Everest.
Okay.
And some of the people who are dead and frozen up there are actual landmarks, because you look up a guy called Green Boots, and he stepped off the trail and just froze to death. So they just use him as a landmark. Eat the Green Boots, turn right, you go right up the summit. So now, when David Attenborough has to do some documentary on Everest climbers, they'll have to talk about Big Blue Vaney. The Sherpas and stuff, they're very reserved religious, you know, and stuff, so like they won't disturb a dead body or anything. So with a big giant fucking dildo frozen stuck to my head.
Which direction is the pointing?
Up.
Up? Oh,
Straight up.
Straight up.
straight up. That's the final destination, where the winner points.
Thousands of hikers will have to step over your body.
Everyone will remember me. Instead of southern words, how about southern sayings?
Whatever suits your fancy.
Yep. Hey, can we go do this today? Yeah, whatever suits your fancy. You know, whatever you like. Oh, if I learn frog hair. Because, you know, have you ever seen frog hair? No, because it's really fun.
But that doesn't exist.
Have you seen it?
No?
Well, how do you know?
Because it's really
It's so
fine.
fine.
Super
You can't
fine.
see
Okay.
it.
There's a philosophical discussion here.
But it just goes back to that whole more aggravated than a cat trying to bury a turd on the tile floor. See, even though you've never seen no cat try to bury a turd on a tile floor, it don't take long for you to figure out fucking impossible to do.
Yep.
You know. Oh, I like saying busier than a one-arm wallpaper hanger. You gotta put the paste on the back side. You gotta start from the top down and smooth it out. Well, now imagine trying that shit with one fucking arm.
This is going to be extremely difficult.
Because you're more busier than a one-arm
I got it.
wallpaper hanger.
Oh, I see.
So, again, like you were saying, it's an analogy.
Yeah.
So you have to stop and think, what did this guy just say? Oh, well, if I was a one-arm wallpaper hanger, oh, that would be difficult. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Pretend like, say we were in school, and you did something that got in trouble. I would say something like, you're in more trouble than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Yeah, I've heard nervous as a
Boy, could you slow that
long-tailed
down?
cat.
I was way too fast. Yeah.
More nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. As the cat goes through the room, there's a chance it's somebody in the rocking chair is going to rock on that damn long-ass tail.
Oh, okay.
So you're more nervous than a cat in a room full, a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And then another one of my favorite ones is right up there with the one-arm wallpaper hanger. It's like they'd be like, "You busy today?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm more busy than a one-legged ass kicker." So I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense if you just break the saying down and take it as what it sounds like logically, even though it makes no fucking sense.
That's it for now. I'm heading into Page to grab some food, fuel, maybe a hot shower. If you enjoy this, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. See you in the next one.